It's taken until November to unpack the true state of Victoria's books, and the belated budget lays bare the destruction.
This has been a year like never before, and it demands a budget like never before.
The state's economy is down 4% this year, around $16 billion. State taxes have taken a battering, they're down more than $2.2 billion. And with so few houses on the market this year, the take from stamp duty is down nearly 26%. So Labor is trying to kickstart the housing market with half-price stamp duty on new homes worth under $1 million. There's also a 25% discount on stamp duty for existing properties, but it won't last forever. The discount runs from now until the end of the financial year.
Well, it's about equity and it's about putting the support and the effort where it can best have effect.
Unemployment is forecast to get worse before it gets better, but the government says it has a plan to create 400,000 new jobs by 2025, half of those in the next 2 years. Female-dominated industries have been hardest hit by COVID and will have the lion's share of $250 million in direct wage subsidies. And businesses that rehire staff or create new roles will get a tax credit towards their payroll, while the public service wage bill will swell by 10% over the next 4 years.
We need to get more Victorians back to work. We need to ensure that all Victorians can get a job.
Construction forms the backbone of the jobs recovery, with nearly $20 billion in infrastructure projects, including the suburban rail loop, airport rail, and upgrades to country roads and train lines. There's a plan for a Melton hospital and an upgrade to the Royal Melbourne, while Warrnambool Hospital is getting a boost.
Enjoying being back at school this term?
123 schools across the state will share in nearly $2 billion for classrooms, gyms, labs and libraries. Melbourne will get 100 new locally built trams, the largest order in decades, and the first cash will start to flow for the Arts Centre redevelopment. There's also $540 million to create renewable energy hubs and more than $600 million to tackle mobile and internet black spots throughout the state. The budget assumes Victoria remains in a COVID normal environment, with the international borders not reopening until midway through next year. And the number of international students won't return to normal levels until 2022.
Our expectation is there'll be a quick bounce back, but there'll be a long tail to fully recover from the economic event.
The state budget usually includes a book outlining how much money is being spent on projects and when. Today, that was nowhere to be found.
This is a government that is so embarrassed by its track record of budget blowouts and waste that it's now decided to censor the budget.
The opposition says the budget missed the mark, with the state's unemployment rate expected to remain higher than the national average for the next 4 years.
There isn't enough for those unemployed Victorians.
This was a massive missed opportunity for real tax reform. Instead, we get funny money schemes and lots of borrowing and lots of waste.
But the big spending has been celebrated by others.
This is a budget that backs workers.
This budget is an inequality crusher. It has got the wow factor, it is big, it is bold.
The massive stamp duty discount got a big tick from the Property Council.
Waivers to stamp duty for new and existing builds is fantastic. It will support Victorians into work.
And environment groups have welcomed a $500 million investment in renewable energy.
We're very pleased to see the government investing in the grid of the future.
While there's a big focus on getting women back to work, advocacy groups say it'll take more than just one budget cycle to fix the impact of the pandemic on women.
We have seen 109,000 jobs lost as a consequence of the She Session. This budget makes those important first steps towards a gender-equal recovery.
The Tourism Council has welcomed the multi-million-dollar voucher scheme to entice Victorians to holiday at home, but wanted more help in hard-hit areas.
In particular, our business events sector has been somewhat undercooked.
It's rare that a budget keeps everybody happy. Bridget Rollason, ABC News, Melbourne.
Imad Amro managed to keep his wheelie bin cleaning business in gear during the pandemic. With 30 employees, his focus was on maintaining their wages.
They're our family and they're the people that we are most worried about and were most worried about.
Now there's an incentive to extend that workplace family with wage subsidies to encourage small and medium businesses to take on more staff.
I suppose now it's just about how we generate the work for our company to be able to hire new people.
But the cost of this budget has Mr Amro worried.
Concerned about the hip pocket and concerned about the taxes in the future, absolutely.
Those concerns are shared by Keilor couple Irene and Greg Stokes.
We know that our children and possibly even our grandchildren will be lumbered with it.
The big stamp duty announcement leaves her cold.
The discount to stamp duty, that's great. You know, if you can afford to buy a new or existing home, but you need pretty secure employment to be able to do that.
Between them, the Stokes have 5 adult children. The youngest, uni student Courtney, lost her casual office job early in the pandemic.
I was working casually in a law firm, a great foot in the door type of situation, and I was unemployed for this whole year.
She feels left out by today's budget.
I don't think it's targeted school, uni students at all.
The pandemic's taught Victorians to be cautious, and that seems to be reflected in how they digest this budget, with many saying they'll take a wait-and-see approach, hoping the government's big spend pays off. Nicole, ABC News, Melbourne.